subscribe, hype, like, click the notification bell and turn on all notifications. And donate with a super thanks donation in the comments section below for the unfiltered, unapologetic SeanzViewEnt, your home for WWE news, rumors, and backstage chaos. This is where gossip gets exposed around the clock. Now, here's your host, the brash SeanzViewEnt.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The game has changed. Is it game over for the game Triple H, who says it's all about control and if you can take it? It's all about the game and how you play it. Well, nobody knows how to play the game better than Vince McMahon. Mr. McMahon knows all about booking and creative. Mr. McMahon knows all about the inner workings of SummerSlam because he was there for the first one. And is Vince McMahon going to be returning to change the entire predicament for WWE SummerSlam? You're going to want to stay tuned for this one, viewers, fans, and subscribers. Do you think Vince McMahon should be booking? Should Vince McMahon be in charge? Should Vince McMahon change up the plans for WWE SummerSlam in under 2 weeks? Yes, under 2 weeks' time on ESPN. The hottest event of the year is going to be right here for the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers, because we are here to satisfy your taste buds as it concerns all things professional wrestling. Is Vince McMahon here to change the plans and upgrade SummerSlam? Because right now SummerSlam looks all right. Right? It looks okay, but it could look a hell of a lot better. I mean, when you have a match like Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio at SummerSlam, that doesn't really ring, or that doesn't really bring in SummerSlam vibes. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't feel like a SummerSlam match. And there's different things about this SummerSlam that you could pick apart, and you could say, well, it's rematch after rematch at SummerSlam. We have seen these matches. Although I got to admit, I am looking forward to what this Hell in a Cell is going to look like with Oba and Brock. And is it going to be allowed? Is it going to be given enough time at SummerSlam? That's one of my things I'm bringing up here on Sean's View Entertainment. But that simply is not all, viewers. Because before we get into the changes, the predicaments, and what Vince McMahon could very well alter for SummerSlam, and Triple H being livid, Triple H being furious over this, we got J-Rod set for WWE tryout during SummerSlam weekend. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that right. Also, Seth Rollins blames injury costing him his best shot at a real WrestleMania main event. Also, we got breaking news, backstage updates on Monday Night Raw. Huge developments coming in right here and right now. WWE ranks number 6 globally on Netflix for July the 13th, 2026. WWE Raw viewership and key demo numbers are in for the July 13th episode. And remember, it's always a week behind, guys. And it showed minimal movement compared to the prior year. So Raw continues to flatline. Raw continues to go down, viewers, fans, and subscribers. Also, John Cena reveals that he spent 2 years secretly building his mom a house. Yes, you heard that right. Also, Logan Paul admits that WWE probably won't let him fight Paddy Pimblett. Logan Paul knows Paddy wants to tear him apart, but WWE may be the only thing keeping them from getting into a real fight. Logan Paul reveals he asked WWE to book him against Conor McGregor. And John Cena, the greatest of all time, the GOAT, the legend, the myth, future WWE Hall of Famer. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. John Cena has actually revealed how WWE can change outcomes in the middle of a match. Yes, you heard that right. Also, Paige Collette makes surprise NWA debut with a brutal post-match attack. Jack Swagger, former World Heavyweight Champion, confirms pro wrestling return and reveals JCW talks. Also, Jack Swagger reveals WWE contract talks fell short before his exit in 2017 from the company. Would you want to see Jack Swagger return to WWE down the line? Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. Also, AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, explains why he ultimately chose Royal Rumble over WrestleMania 42 for his retirement match. A lot of fans have wondered why AJ Styles' WWE career ended at the Royal Rumble instead of WrestleMania 14. Excuse me, WrestleMania 14. Wow, I have that on the mind. That was when the Austin era started. That is when the Attitude Era really went into full momentum. But that wasn't my pay-per-view or PLE. That's not where I started. For me to be able to debut and then end it at the Royal Rumble, and I don't care that it was Saudi Arabia. It's still the Royal Rumble, and that meant something to me. So that makes sense. So it was like a full circle moment for the phenomenal AJ Styles. Also, Natalya addresses claims that she was always naked in the WWE locker room. When I was in the locker room with you this is so long ago, back in the day, you were always naked. Are you always naked? When she was being naked, this is what she would do. I'm telling you, she would have her phone, be totally naked, cross her leg like this, and stand like that. So it was effing with everybody. Natalya immediately started laughing, convinced Brandy was talking about her taking selfies. She wasn't. Brandy said Natalya was simply standing there reading something on her phone as if nobody else was in the room, and found the situation very slightly unusual. No, she was like reading something, but it was like effing with everybody just to be like, my physique is so great, just look at it. I do remember going over forearms with Eve Torres naked. Listen, I think it was because why I probably was naked in the locker room is because you're built in the front and stacked in the back. You may as well just let it all hang out. And Natalya has addressed that. Would you like to see Natalya naked in the WWE or join Playboy? Now, that's something we haven't heard in a long time. The WWE girls, the females, the woman of the World Wrestling Entertainment in Playboy. We have not heard something like that. We have not heard that combination in quite a long time. Also, Bayley has not signed a new WWE contract as AEW interest builds. Also, Bayley could force the WWE to change its contract rules. Yes, you heard that right, according to those in the know. Huge report coming in. Fightful Select says Bayley's potential free agency has become a major topic inside both WWE and AEW, with one agent believing she could at least reach the negotiation window before agreeing to anything. Again, your thoughts, your comments, your opinions on that. And this is where things could get expensive, okay? Bayley is expected to receive interest from both companies, and her leverage could allow her to demand contract protection that most WWE stars do not currently have. Many WWE deals do not include fully guaranteed years or no cut protection. That has become a much bigger issue after the company released wrestlers with millions of dollars still remaining on their contracts. The belief is that Bayley may be one of the few stars powerful enough to change that. WWE is expected to want in her back. So Bayley could resign with the WWE, or she could go with AEW, or she could make a shock and go to NWA, maybe NJPW, maybe TNA. I don't know, guys. This is very situational. But AEW can offer Bayley some benefits that WWE usually does not. AEW has a strong history of honoring contracts through their full term, pay travel expenses, and allow wrestlers to take outside bookings and convention appearances. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, that matters for Bayley because she could be one of the biggest names on the signings and meet and greet circuit. A source from the convention world believes she would become one of the most in-demand wrestling personalities of the last 2 decades. Bayley's value also goes beyond merchandise and appearances. She is a former champion, a proven television star, and someone who could immediately walk into either company's world title picture or women's title picture. Meltzer previously questioned whether WWE would give Bayley enough featured time if she remained with the company. That gives Bayley a serious decision to make. WWE can offer history, exposure, and familiar opponents, but AEW can offer freedom, contract security, and a fresh role near the top of its women's division. Bayley has not signed anything yet, though, and that may be the smartest move that she can make. The longer WWE and AEW stare each other down, the stronger her negotiation position becomes. Could Bayley be the wrestler who finally lands a fully guaranteed, no-cut WWE contract? Leave your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. And again, according to those in the know, she's not leaving. She has at least 3 to 4 months on her current contract. Also, her going to AEW would be lost in the shuffle after probably a month. But also keep in mind Bayley's best friends in AEW as well. MJF did the same exact thing before ultimately deciding to stay with AEW. And I'm guessing Bayley heads to AEW with her best buddy. However, if Bayley stays, that ensures Monet ain't staying with AEW. If WWE wants to keep her, hell yeah, she can have a non-pay cut and fully guaranteed contract. She more than earned that. Otherwise, she would do great in AEW. Either way, still a fan of Bayley. Is Bayley a megastar, or is it just all overhype? Is it all overhype for Bayley? Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, breaking big news on the blue brand of WWE SmackDown on the USA Network on Friday nights, as the WWE SmackDown viewership sees a slight increase on July the 17th, 2026. Tony Khan addresses the possibility of an AEW Hall of Fame. 7 years ago, AEW didn't have enough history to even think about a Hall of Fame. Now, Tony Khan isn't ruling one out. Also, blame is being put on WWE for Neon exposing Penta without his mask on. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is N3ON. Oh, this guy's a big name. I know this guy's a big YouTuber. I think it's called Neon. It's Neon. He exposed Penta. I guess Penta was exposed. Penta was leaked backstage as this guy was backstage filming. Roman Reigns dropped. Guys, this is right before SummerSlam. Huge update, huge developments as it concerns Roman Reigns' bank account. Roman Reigns drops over $450,000 on 2 luxury watches. Roman Reigns' luxury watch collection just got a lot more expensive. The WWE World Heavyweight Champion has added 2 more ultra-exclusive timepieces to his collection. Also, Pat McAfee releasing debut album inspired by 20 years of criticism. Zelina Vega's potential new ring name revealed following her release from the WWE. And guys, this is pretty breaking news. This is pretty developing. This is pretty progressing. Mike Santana from TNA has finally addressed his surprise arrival in WWE NXT last night, and judging by his first message, he already has one thing on his mind: the NXT Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, your thoughts, your comments, your opinions on Mike Santana arriving in WWE for the NXT brand. Do you think he should have just went straight to WWE's main roster, or do you think Mike Santana will have a great career in NXT? Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions, your emotions on all of that. Also, Santana definitely did crash Tony D'Angelo's NXT title celebration after a brutal street fight. Also, NXT Underground match has been booked for women's title during the 721 episode. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, the Game Triple H and Nick Khan have been put on notice by Mr. McMahon, Vince McMahon. SummerSlam could look completely different. Vince McMahon could throw a monkey wrench into SummerSlam plans. We're talking about the booking. We're talking about the creative. Hell, we could even be talking about the match card for SummerSlam. Vince McMahon, ladies and gentlemen, could put his own theory. Vince McMahon could put his own spin. Or Vince McMahon could add to SummerSlam. Goes the days of 4 or 5 matches for a PLE. I mean, imagine paying all this money and you're only getting 4 or 5 matches for a PLE. Also, one night on SummerSlam, you're going to get 4 matches. The next night, you're going to get 4 matches. Remember when you used to get 10, 11 matches for PLEs, for pay-per-views? Remember that, guys? Or at least 8 matches, 9 matches, right? Now you're getting 4 or 5 matches for a PLE. But now, since SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights, maybe we go back to the one-night format. Again, this is just too much with these 2 nights. Listen, if any event, if any PLE, if any special event should be 2 nights, in my estimation, in my opinion, it should only be WrestleMania. Yes, you heard that right. It should only be WrestleMania. Putting SummerSlam and Royal Rumble, it's too much. It's overexposure. You know what I'm saying? There's just so many hours. I mean, look at all the wrestling. Look at all the wrestling that we get in 1 week, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at it. Now, do you think if Vince McMahon were to revise or change the SummerSlam match card for 2026, WWE SummerSlam 2026, do you think that would be vital? Do you think that would be good? Do you think Vince McMahon could make the SummerSlam card better? Again, you got matches like Danhausen and Dominic Mysterio. I think even Vince McMahon could interject his own lethal dose of poison into this SummerSlam card and make it even better. Ladies and gentlemen, your thoughts, your comments, your opinions here on Sean's View Entertainment. It is all about you. If you want more videos like this, click the bell, subscribe, comment, hype up the video, donate below with a super thanks donation by using your credit card, because without you, there is no Sean's View. Subscribe.